Cabinet Minister and East Jaintia Hills MLA Kyrmen Shylla has stressed the need for collective action in tackling the growing drug menace in Meghalaya. Speaking to media, Shylla said community involvement is crucial and urged families to report and support drug users instead of hiding the issue. He also highlighted East Jaintia Hills as a vulnerable transit point and called for stricter border checks, stronger laws and harsher punishments. Shylla emphasized the role of youth engagement through sports and awareness drives by NGOs, churches and local bodies. He also recommended expanding CCTV surveillance and Shillong's integrated command system to other districts for better monitoring.
When it comes to drugs, this is really a concern matter in our state, not only the state, even the country and the world as a whole. We have seen that most of the youth has, being a trap of this drug, where the drug minister trying to find a ways and means to, to counter and then reach the youth of our state and then to destroy their livelihood. So I feel this is a matter where not just the concern of a single person, but everyone concerned. Because until unless all of us come together and give the supporting hand, it's almost next to impossible to tackle drugs. Because the users is quite difficult to find out and then to know who's the users until unless they came out, you got them red-handed. But that is very difficult to got them. But for all these things, I would like to request, yes, no doubt the government, we do have the department concerned, like the police department, the health department, and many line department who works together to tackle the drug and the drug menace. But as I've mentioned, it's next to impossible until unless we give our supporting hands. So for this, I would like to appreciate and then thank the Darbar Shnong of different locality. I've heard from time to time, they really support and they try to find ways and means how to help our children, our youth, that not to involve in drugs. Example, when it comes to a contribution from MLAs and all, I've seen in different constituencies, they introduce activities in sports where our youth will get some kind of activities so that they will carry it away not to go to drugs, and then they'll be carried to sports activities, and then they can overcome drugs. All those things contribute, but the most important thing is that, as I've said, our contribution, supporting. If someone is using drugs in my family, I have to share it. If I hide, then that will, it'll grow within the family, and then later on it will be next to impossible for him to overcome the drugs. So we have to support, and then we have to be with them, and at the same time, we should not be ashamed of our family members if they are using drugs and all. So that is my request to the people. Let us come together, work together. No doubt, drug is nothing. We can overcome anything if we work unitedly. Almost a big country like USA and all, they have a good checking point. To enter their country is next to impossible. But how come drug is available in their own country, where a big country with many mechanism of tracking system that not even a single person can enter? But how drug reach? So that is required, needed, but not the only mechanism. As I've said, all of us should come unitedly, give our supporting hand, then only. Otherwise, drug is something I could see and I've heard it. We have been trying to fight, not only we, our ancestors, those who have seen that drugs has entered our country, they have tried it. If they saw somebody is using drugs, they say, "Arey, uska apna life hai, let him do on his own. Why do we have to interfere?" That things, give the opportunity for the drug minister to enter. First he'll enter to my door, tomorrow in your door. That is how it got the opportunity. But if we work together, nothing like it. Nothing is impossible. Health department is there. They can give you, the health support, and the police department are trying their best. But public at large, involvement is important. Yes, different NGOs and government departments and in school, they used to have. And a huge amount of money has been spent for this kind of awareness, but that is not enough. And tackling drugs is very difficult to understand. Drugs also, because sometimes they say it's a sickness, and sometimes we feel that they are bad person who use drugs and who's right, who's wrong. But it's very difficult to accept what exactly is drug. So the government has supporting us from time to time, not only the East Jandy Hills and even the other district too. We try to protect each and every one of our people, not only in East Jandy Hills. But yes, East Jandy Hills being the transit district where people transfer from one place to the other place through our district is very challenging for us because it's easy for them. And checking point, that also very important. Yes, the children who are involved in drugs, they don't know what exactly the harmful of drugs, the danger of drugs, so they are involved in it. But I believe the day will come that our youth will understand that what is right and what is wrong, and we will try our best to support. I have seen many NGOs and the church leaders and the community. They started to, give their awareness whenever they have the opportunity. And I myself, whenever I got a chance to speak in public speaking speech, I give my speech in such a way that drug is one thing that you have to avoid and then make understood to your children so that they go away of drugs, not to involve in drugs. And we try to, implement this different kind of football field and then give them the activities so that they change instead of wasting the time doing nothing and then involved in drugs. By giving them opportunity, they can divert themselves. Yes, of course, it is a transit route, but not only for drugs, for everything. But drugs also could be a part of it. And I remember at the time when Vivekananda, he was a DSP there. Many times we got drugs, and even the recent SP also, we used to catch a lot of drugs. So that is how we try to tackle. But to enter Meghalaya, not only one route. We have so many routes, international and even the state connectivity is there. We have to think and then take a proper action where even the other route also should be well protected. Otherwise, if you concentrate only East Janty Hills, what if it comes from where else and they sell it to East Janty Hills? So I am here not to blame anybody. It could be from anywhere. Whenever there's from Jainty Hills, I have seen our police officers, they take care, the narcotic team is there, and most of the time they catch them. But still drug is still involved within our state. So for this, I would like to request all the officers, especially the district SPs, that they should be take it seriously within their own district so that even they also will tackle the drugs together with us and then we can make it. And I could see that our children in East Janty Hills, as of now, I don't know exactly the numbers, but we are one of the highest maybe in the state when it comes to users of drugs. So one day I could see it will be the light of the day that our children will be aware of drugs. They will be no one, and that will be the achievement. I could be a little rude when it comes to drugs. If we give a strong direction, a strong maybe kind of sentence to drug peddlers, then they'll reduce the number automatically. But the law has to really be very stringent and then take a strong direction or maybe give a strong direction and then the sentence which way they feel. But it should be very strong, not too weak. Because with a small quantity, if you are caught, that means you can still consider is for your own consumption. That small amount of drugs, thora thora, make it big. So I don't know. I am not an expert, and I cannot, oversee against the law. But I wish the law is very strong, and then take a proper action, and then give a sentence, whichever they feel necessary, but a strong, uh, you know, sentence should be given to those peddlers. as you have mentioned, is very much important. We feel it's a high time to have it wherever is possible, especially those big shops and all, they should have, and most of them they have it. And nowadays it's really nice to see that all of us, we have a smartphone and we are using it. This is also one kind recent case you have seen, that how we saw those uh, regarding with the recent case, I will not mention it, but you have seen through their recording through mobiles and all, we solved the case. So it's very much needed, and whatever we have also is good enough, but it will improve more by having CCTV camera in different locations, right? And that need not just the direction of the government. I've seen many houses, they did it by themselves for the security. So we feel it is our responsible to do that, to keep the CCTV whenever, wherever we feel is required. But even the government also should have a direction. I think they do have the direction. The big store and all, they do have a CCTV camera. But if we can come out with a large picture, nothing like it. But whatever we have, though is not enough, but I really appreciate those who keep their CCTV camera. That will be the safety for themselves and for all of us. Very much needed if we can, but how much, what is the capacity, that I believe the government will look into it, and then if possible, it's very much needed. I can say that.